Hey guys, it is Kevin coming to you from Osaka, Japan. Hey, a few people who've been followers of me for a very long time said, hey Kevin, since you're in Japan, why don't you vlog about Japan? Well, why not? So it's Sunday evening, work done for tomorrow, my lessons prepped, ready to go out for the remote learning I'm doing with my students who are scattered about the planet. I just paid rent for a third month here in Japan. Hey, never would have expected to be living in Japan again. Well, I'd hoped in the future, I could live in Japan again, but wasn't planning on 2020 being the year. So I'm just on my way to a 7-Eleven to buy some water because we're out of bottled water at the apartment. Get a couple of bottles, just finished eating supper. The kids are just finishing up. They're gonna get ready to watch a bit of TV, relax, and have a bubble bath. We found some bubble bath, which is not a common thing to find here in Japan. So we got some bubble bath. They're gonna have a bubble bath, and then later on this evening, I go for a walk every night. I've been walking like 30,000 steps a day. Really happy about that. Been losing quite a bit of weight, which is really good. I got more to go, but we're doing well. Because of self-isolation here in Japan, I'm just basically walking all the time, but I'm not walking in places where there are people. And in my neighborhood where I'm at, there's not many people around anyway, so it works out well. So I'll take you guys for a walk later on, check out some abandoned alleys, or not abandoned alleys, back alleys, abandoned buildings, and that kind of thing. All right, later. All right, guys, you can see there's a 7-Eleven behind me right there. I'm gonna go in there and buy some water. When we go into any public place, we put our masks on. Always have masks in my bag. I got an N95. Here's a surgical mask. Just try to touch as little as you can. And see my little bag of MacGyver goodness. I always have hand sanitizer, which we do have several larger bottles at home. We always refill. So the moment I walk outside the store, I'm gonna be hand sanitizing. The moment I walk into my apartment, I will be washing my hands with soap very well. Okay, so we're gonna head into the old 7-Eleven, get some water. So, a couple of hours later, my kids have gone to bed. Check this out. One of the reasons why I like this neighborhood, I suppose at any other time I wouldn't. But there are no people. It's weird and creepy and strange. But at a time of like social distancing and all of that, it's remarkably convenient. So this is in the Nishi-Yodogawa area of Osaka. So it's not far from Umeda. I can walk to Umeda in about 40 minutes. And I'm a big walker. So I did that on Saturday. Actually, I walked past Umeda. Even Umeda's dead because all the department stores are closed, all the restaurants are closed, the bars, the izakayas, like everything's shut down. So there's no point in going there. That's why people go to Umeda. They go there to drink, to eat, and shop. If you can't drink, eat, and shop, no one goes there. So even that downtown hub is empty. So I'm making this vlog just because people have asked me to make some vlogs because I'm here. So it's weird to become a Japan content creator again. One thing I was just thinking about was that obviously you've got the people who are on the ground, who have always been here, who live here, work here, vlog here. Your Victors, your Mullies, your Chris Broads, all those folks, right? They're here, they're making content. But the vast majority of Japan content that's out there tends to be from people who travel to Japan. They come here on a holiday, they come here specifically to make like food videos and travel videos about Japan. And like a lot of those vlogs get like huge numbers and stuff. But none of those people are here now. There are no tourists in Japan now, like none, because there's like just multiple travel bans. There's travel bans on like 20 countries, including America and most of Europe. So people can't come here. And I mean, to be honest, right now you'd be a fool to step onto an airplane to go anywhere, because like that's just a tube of virus, a flying virus tube. So even here, like, the last time I was in Japan was a year ago, visiting, and you just see foreigners everywhere. And now, like, you don't. see foreigners pretty much at all, and if you do, they clearly live here, because that's the only way they're going to be here. Yeah, so very interesting. So I'm going to assume that for the last couple of months and months leading forward, there's going to be a real dearth of new Japan content. So although my videos aren't the shiniest and the sparkliest, happy to make some for you guys to watch. So quiet here, guys. This is an abandoned building. Windows all boarded up. Would have been a shop of some sort at some time with those type of doors. Right beside it is a very modern home. Across the street, very abandoned shop. The awning all coming apart, decaying. Very interesting. So much of that in this neighborhood. I didn't live in a place like this when I lived in Japan. You guys know I lived here for 10 years. There's nothing like this. And again, like, just this mixture of really old buildings mixed with like really brand new modern buildings, houses. These two are new. And then you come over here. Again, it's really hard for me to say, and I mentioned this in the last video. You know, I'm coming here during a disaster, so I don't know what was open beforehand, what wasn't. But here again on the corner, another Marushi. This isn't that sign. This is clearly an abandoned building. It was a shop at one point, and you know the way it works with most. This is no people. You know, typically the way it worked is people would have a business on the first floor of their house, and they lived on the second floor. Doors boarded up, windows boarded up. But sometimes I'll see buildings like this and I'm convinced they're abandoned, and then I'll see a light on inside at night. It looks like probably this one too. Oh, okay, sorry, these are two different buildings. This would have been a bicycle shop. This is Maruishi Cycle. So it was a bicycle shop at one time, and this is just someone's house, a residence. Got an apartment building here. But yeah, it's much of a maze of streets. I'm used to living in a very grid-like place, but this is, you know, kind of old school. So the streets just kind of zigzag and crisscross everywhere you go. Gotta love the old phone booths. Yeah, this place I walked by a few times when I first got here in February. Cafe Kokomiya, and this was a very active little tavern with a lot of people loudly drinking here each night, and now it's closed, which is a good thing because all places, drinking establishments at night or that are open at night have been asked to close because a lot of the virus was spread around at nighttime in drinking places. Here's an old watch shop that's long since shuttered. Interesting, eh? So, I mean, it's interesting. We're making the best of our time here, guys. We have been getting really active, getting outdoors a lot with our kids. There's a lot of parks around, and we just get the kids out. And one thing I have to admit is I've become much more active at playing than I have been in many years. Much more active with my own kids, which is necessary for them and for me. I always like how people have their little gardens out here. So right over here we've got a Sumiyoshi Taisha, or Sumiyoshi Shrine. There are several here in Osaka. My wife and I got married at a Sumiyoshi Shrine in Tennoji. So it's about 9 o'clock at night now. Beautiful, isn't it? I could have picked worse places to be trapped during a pandemic. We've got another building over here. I need to get a steady cam rig, like a gyro kind of thing, for when I'm walking. Beautiful. Well, folks, thank you for joining me on my evening stroll, walking along and showing you some sights of the neighborhood. I'll do some daytime videos coming up too. Don't worry. I go for a walk every night. I walk a lot in the day too, but I go for a walk every night. It's been something I've done since before I even had children. And even, the whole time I've had children, when they go to bed, I go for a walk for about an hour, hour and a half. It's my time to just unwind and decompress and listen to the podcast I want to listen to, have the thoughts I want to have uninterrupted. But again, thanks for joining me. Check the links below, guys. Follow me on Twitter. It's a place I like to be. Just check out the links below. Check out the Just Japan Stuff Facebook page. That's kind of the landing pad for just a bunch of news about Japan. I'm constantly posting stuff in there, Japanese news. Sadly, these days, there's only one theme, which is why I'm not really listening to much news, but I try to post other things there, and I post a lot of photos that I take during the day over there, so check that out. All right, see you later, folks. Have a great one.